Okay, so we're looking at the modern periodic table now, so the one that you have in your books or in your textbooks. And the elements are ordered obviously now as they were by Mendeleev, but with a little bit more information than actually he didn't have at that time. And the elements now, so question 1.1, how are the elements ordered in the periodic table? The elements are now ordered by what we call the atomic number, but it's also called the proton number, obviously, because it tells you the number of protons within each atom. So it's either the atomic number or proton number. If you've got an older textbook kicking around, sometimes called the ordinal number as well. And we call it the periodic table, and it's not just a name given to it. There is a reason behind it. And the reason it's called the periodic table is because the properties that we observe in the periodic table, so for example, group 7 reactivities, group 1 reactivities with water, for example, as you move through the periodic table and come across the same elements in the same groups, you get this periodic repetition of the properties. So a group 1 element reacts well with water. Every 8th element, there is this periodic repetition of a group 1 element. That's why it's in group 1. And this periodic repetition is why it's called the periodic table. So the properties regularly repeat through the table. And as I say, the periodic table is called periodic because of that periodic repetition. It's not just a word that we use arbitrarily. And within these similar chemical properties, as we've just been mentioning, the reason they have these similar chemical properties is due to the same number of outer shell electrons. Okay, so everything in group 7, for example, has 7 outer electrons. Everything in group 1 has 1 outer electron. Obviously, the same number of shells, just while we're here, that's the same period. So that's the horizontal rows. The groups are the vertical rows, which is due primarily to the outer shell of electrons. And the other two, in terms of chemical properties, are all pretty relevant, to be fair.